بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. So, alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to have this week our session on interfaith dialogue from the holy city of Rome. And as you remember, we were talking about commonalities between Islam and Christianity, and then there was an introduction that was given in Kenya, Subiaco Center in Nairobi, and we said that there are two ways to consider similarities. One is just to consider similarities based on the doctrines and theories. So whoever shares with you more doctrines is closer. Like a Shia who shares all my faith is the closest. Then, for example, non-Shia Muslim, then Christian, then people who believe in God but not in Abrahamic or personal God, and then people of goodwill. But there is another way of looking at this, because maybe there is a person who shares more doctrines with me, but he is not really practicing or submissive to God. Maybe there is even a relative of mine who not only shares all doctrines, but also shares my language, shares my ethnicity, etc. But I find God is not central in his life. And there is a person, a Sunni Muslim or a Christian from another part of the world, for whom God is the center of his life, whom I should take as someone who is closer to me. The one who shares more doctrines, or the one who shares God with me? It's a question. Unfortunately, many times we only think doctrines are the most important thing, yeah? So, this is the change in paradigm that we talked about. So the closest people to you are the people who are closer to God. If you are God-centered, okay? If for you God is, and as I said, our God is the same, because sometimes people say, sometimes Muslims and sometimes Christians, they say our God is different. Allah is different from God. Even sometimes they have serious, discussion about this. Even in, one of Muslim countries, they took some Christian to the court. Why they say Allah? They say you should not say Allah. Allah is for Muslims. And there are some Christian websites you might have seen. They say Allah is not God. Allah is God of Islam, and has attributes that we don't accept. But the reality is that God, Allah, Khuda, Yazdan, all Yahovah, all refer to the same reality. And as I think maybe I told you, in University of Kenyatta, we went with one of our friends, priest, Father Joseph from Fukodare. He invited me to go to talk to some Christian students. First there was a service, but then he asked me to talk to them. And then I said, our God is the same. And I said in 1 minute, I said, my God is the creator of this world. Whatever you call it. Who is your God? If it's the creator of the world, so then it's the same. Yeah? This is why in the Quran many times there is emphasis on creation of the skies and the earth. Yeah? من خلق السماوات والأرض لئن سألتم من خلق السماوات يقولون الله. So It's the same God. And you, if you have wisdom, you should not emphasize on differences. Yeah? Even if someone has some problems, but he says, I believe in the same God. We should not say, no, you don't believe in the same God. We have to prove that no. The implication of what you say is that you have, problem with this God. No. Many people don't know what is the implication of their, idea. You don't need to prove to them that logically they must deny God. Yeah. So, I think I told you that in one of the sessions here that they say there was an idol worshipper who used to call his idol Sanam. But mistakenly, instead of saying Ya Sanam, said Ya Samad. And then God said Labbaik. Even was by mistake, Like for example, if your child has run away from home and you want him to go back, and if you go to him, he would not accept. Okay? Then if by mistake he calls you, you go towards him and say, you called me. Yeah? You don't say, no, he's making mistake. Because you know that your child needs you. And you need to bring him back. So we need to bring people towards God, not that we need to push people away from God. Okay, whether people of our faith or people of other faith, So some people try to feel the hell, unfortunately. They think it's their job to send, you have this problem, you have to go to hell, you have to... I don't think anyone is responsible for feeling the hell. We are responsible for helping people to go to heaven. So, then I said this is different from pluralism. In pluralism, of course, pluralism has different, meanings. We are not pluralists in the sense of saying truth is plural. Truth is not plural. Or to say that all these religions are, equally true. But we say people have possibility of salvation if they wholeheartedly submit themselves to God, if they are seeking the truth. Even if they don't share with me my faith, they can go to heaven. And people of my faith may not go to heaven if they don't have, truthfulness. So this is different from pluralism. And then I said, this is also very important. As believers, we need to be grateful to God. Not only for the things that God has given you, but also for everything good that God has created. For example, I sometimes put it this way. I say, you need to be grateful to God for the flowers which are in your garden and for the flowers which are in neighbor's garden. Many of us are only at most grateful for the flowers in our house. Yeah? But if you are a lover of God, you love everything that is coming from God. So as a lover of God, you have to see beauty that exists in other faith communities. Yeah? So if you see a Sunni is good or a Christian is good, you need to be very happy. So for example, in London, whenever I drive, if I pass by a Shia center, which belongs to, for example, another marja, I'm very happy. Actually, sometimes I choose the street that passes by the office of some maraja because I love to look at the door. I say it's like an-nazar ila bab al-alam ibadat. I say it's very good to pass this street so that I can look at their office. Okay? Some people say, no, only my marja. Yeah, the rest, Either it's better they don't exist, or if even they exist, we just, okay, tolerate. Some people have this mentality, unfortunately. But this doesn't stop here. Also, when I pass by a church, if I see, Salaam alaikum, if I see people on Sunday go to the church, should I be happy or not? Some people say, no, why you should be happy? These are going to church, they are going, to, I don't know, worship, for example, worship, for example, Jesus, they believe in Trinity, this like that. So they only see negative things. But if you have the larger picture, if you know what is happening to the people in the world and people are going away from God, when you see people go to the church, you feel very happy. Say, Alhamdulillah, that they go to the church. Because if they don't go to church, it's not that they go to the mosque. Yeah? If they don't go to the church, it means they are losing their whole connection with God. Maybe 1 in 1,000 goes to the mosque. But 99% means this is the end of their faith. First, they don't go to the church, then little by little, they don't even believe in Christianity, and then they don't believe in God. So we need to see beauty and acknowledge it as a gift from God, whether it is for us or for others. So you see, it's very spiritual also. It needs humbleness, it needs gratitude, it needs also wisdom to see the larger picture. Okay? In March, we were in Switzerland, and for the 4th time, alhamdulillah, we had taken a group to first Beausset. We had a program with the WCC, and then we went to Monte. We had a program with Focolare. Of course, I had been to WCC more, but this is the first time with 2 groups. Then one of our friends in Monte asked me, what do you find as, differences among different Mariapolis centers? Mariapolis, that they have, City of Mary. So, because, they knew that I've been to Lopiano, to Kenya, to different UK, different Mariapolis centers. I said, if you love an artist and you have a piece of that artist at your home, what do you do? If you love really an artist, every day you go and look at this art and enjoy. Okay? But then you would wonder whether this artist has other pieces or not. If he has other pieces, you want to visit them too. You don't say, I only want to see this piece which is in my house. If you say, I only want to see this piece, means you don't love the artist. You love only yourself. Yeah? If you love the artist, you want to go everywhere and see what are other works that belong to this artist. And I said, my artist is God. And wherever there is unity, it's an art and work of God. Because only God can bring people together. And I love to visit everywhere in the world where there is unity. So this year, just in 2023, alhamdulillah, we visited Mariapolis centers in Italy, in Kenya, in UK, in Switzerland, in Brazil, in Argentina, and our group twice visited Luminosa, New York. Just 2023. Mashallah. Why? Because we believe that this is work of God, that people from different backgrounds have come together just to demonstrate unity for the sake of God. No one can, as the Quran says, لو أنفقت ما في الأرض لما ألفت بين قلوبهم. This is not only for Muslims. If you want to bring Christians together, also only God can bring them together. Yeah? Now, after this introduction, we want to look at some of the commonalities that exist in Islam and Christianity, and I will use as the basis my short book, Mary, Jesus, and Christianity and Islamic Perspective. And I told you the story about why this was written, and there are, many points that are here. So maybe we can have a little break to say our salat, and then inshallah after salat we can continue. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. In the first class, we start for Salat in London. In the second class, for Salat. This is to be international.
It's good for unity.
Good. Okay, so inshallah, we meet. Can we say pray in 20 minutes?
Yeah. We have just 5 minutes for speaking between Salat and Adha, mashallah.
Inshallah, in about 20, huh?
20.
Inshallah. Iltimas.